We are joined by Siddharth Sanyal, the Chief Economist at Bandhan Bank, who's joining us to help us understand more about this free trade agreement and also the direction country is actually looking at in terms of more free trade agreements up till now. Siddharth, afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. This angle is probably not very clearly scratched that we want to integrate more with the world in terms of trade and better ties. In that light, how significant do you see this particular free trade agreement?
I think this is very significant. First of all, one very silent revolution taking place over the course of the last few years, maybe a decade or so, that India is very clearly in the global supply chain and the global value chain, in the export value chain. India is silently moving up in a very significant fashion. Not necessarily it's a country anymore which exports its primary commodities only like tea and rice and so items like carpets and jute. Not only that, very significant uptick we have seen in some of the high-tech areas. For example, engineering, automobiles, gems and jewelry, etc. is still there. But I think the very important factor are like this petrochemicals, chemicals, drugs, and pharma exports, engineering, automobiles, etc. So when you are moving up very significantly in the global export chain and in the global value chain, I think some of the free trade agreements, to get into some of the free trade agreements, as a country, we are a lot more confident now. And that is showing up in this particular agreement with the four European nations. And I think it can actually act as a stepping stone for a few more going ahead in the coming days. So it's very, very significant in my view.
Siddharth, do you see more such FTAs being signed going forward? And also, which are the sectors here in India where you are likely to see big investment coming in because of incremental free trade agreements?
I think it more should be in the offing. Very clearly, the global supply chain is also going through a process of resetting itself, given the China plus one policy, which is being discussed across the board, and that way it's based more and more of this. Some of these activities are likely in the coming days. Also, the next about 1 year or so, it's very busy in terms of political calendars across the globe. So I think there is a bit of an urgency on the part of a lot of countries to get into and sign out some of the free trade agreements before the political events come significantly closer, and also without losing much time given the reset in terms of the China plus one global supply chain strategy. I think that way you will get to see more of these things. And this actually benefits both. That India as a country will be benefiting, as well as given India's such large market, a lot of other countries might also be equally keen to get into some kind of an FTA with India. That gives them a significant access. At the same time, I think we have also grown up significantly without thinking too much about the infant industry argument. Rather than that, we are also much more confident in terms of taking the global competition, raising the bar for our own domestic industry, and playing at the global scale rather than trying to protect the turf for smaller domestic-focused companies only.
Right. All right, Siddharth, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks so much for joining us on the show.